Hey y'all. The other day I was watching Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talks. I absolutely love the transparency and honesty between her mother, her daughter, and on this episode, Gabrielle Union. And she was talking about how she used to be a mean girl. And some people may look at Gabrielle Union and say, well, she's so beautiful, she has this, she has that, what reason would she have to be, insecure? But she admitted that because she was insecure and she had her own brokenness to deal with, that made her a mean girl. Like she talked about watching a woman walk in the room one time, and I guess the attention going to her. And her immediate response was like, no, why are they looking at her? Why are they complimenting her? Why are they staring at her? And she started to tear this woman down. Were her clothes? Well, why is she here? And blah, blah, blah. And it was like, why am I doing this? But the great thing about that moment is that she had a friend there that checked her. She asked her something like, so that time it took you to say XYZ, did that add to your life? It absolutely did not. And she admitted that in that moment she was upset because it's like, you're my friend, why are you checking me? But when she had time to reflect on it, she realized, like, why did I do that? And so after watching that episode and after experiencing and seeing a lot of mean girl things going on, and I say mean girl because that's just the name that we've given it, but it's absolutely grown women that are acting this way. And when you get to be in your 30s and 40s and 50s and all of that, and you're still doing that, it gets to a point where it's pathetic. I'm just gonna call it what I feel it is. I completely understand, and I'm not giving it an excuse for women to be mean and catty with each other, but I absolutely agree with Gabrielle. The reason why she was the way she was, it was because her own insecurities and her own brokenness. There comes a point when we have to stop blaming our childhood for the way we are at 30. Because I'm 30. So if I am still at this point blaming my upbringing for the choices that I make, come on. Like, really? I'm choosing to stay this way. I'm choosing to stay broken because there is too much information out here in the world on healing. And there are too many people out here that are willing to help someone heal, that are willing to help people to discover their brokenness and to help move them beyond it, for people to still be in that place, or for people to say, I don't know how to move on. Well, the first step is admitting it. Like, it's difficult to hold up that mirror and look at your own reflection, especially if you don't like what's in that mirror. When you have to check yourself and say, well, I know I shouldn't have said that. I know I shouldn't have been that way. I still do it. Sometimes, and I will go back and apologize to people, and sometimes they will look at me like, girl, I didn't think anything of it. But I've taken it to heart because I try so hard not to be that mean person, that ugly person that I used to be. And I was that way because I had not dealt with my brokenness. So each day I strive to be the best me that I can be on that day and in that moment. I'm not where I used to be, thank God for that. But I'm also not where, of course, I'm going to be, because every day I'm hoping to grow, to change, and to get better. That's just like you and I are like eating something. You don't like what's on your plate, but I like what's on mine. So why flip my plate over because you don't like what's on your plate? Flip your plate over. Throw your food in the garbage. Don't mess with mine. If you're not having a good day, don't go around bothering other people and raining on their parades and making their day bad because you're not having a good day. Keep your ugliness, keep your funkiness, keep your bitterness. Keep that to yourself if you don't want to deal with it. Do not put that on anybody else. And sometimes it's so disheartening, but several times I have complimented a woman that I didn't know, and their reaction has been like, oh, thanks, or just, okay. You know that I didn't have to compliment you, right? You know that I could have just thought that I liked your hair or your shoes and kept it to myself, right? But they're so caught off guard because clearly they're not used to another woman building them up, lifting them up, complimenting them. Women, I do not understand why is it that we have to constantly do this. Men can have an issue and now we're all over it. But women, we're going to hold on to that thing. We're going to struggle. We're going to fight. We're going to have strife. So many women, I've had a conversation with so many women and they have said, I don't have female friends. I don't fool with females like that. Why not? Women are absolutely awesome. I have an abundance of friends, not just, associates or, I have them too, casual acquaintances, but I mean true, dear friends that even if I don't talk to you in 2 or 3 weeks, either one of us can pick up the phone and just pick up right where we left off, because that is a bond and that is an indication of true friendship. God has blessed me with an abundance of them, and I still ask, like, God, how? The ugly, nasty person that I used to be will cuss somebody out in a heartbeat. How did I still get so fortunate, God, and so undeserving to have so many awesome, amazing women in my life that I can go and grow through this journey with? It is absolutely awesome, because some things that I share with my female friends, a man can't understand. Sometimes you just want girl talk. Sometimes you just want to sit in your PJs with your Noxzema on your face, your rag all on your head, and you want to just be you. You want to just be a woman. I think we are absolutely awesome creatures, and we devalue each other. We don't appreciate each other enough. We want to have all kinds of rallies and protests about racism. And don't get me wrong, that's absolutely terrible, especially 2018. We're still doing this? Really? But nobody wants to confront and say, hey, ladies, cut it out. Let's stop tearing each other down. Even some organizations that say, oh, women power, we're going to empower each other, we're going to uplift. I have seen absolutely the opposite happen in some of those organizations, in some of these circles or cliques that women have. You're still being nasty. You're still being catty. If someone is being lifted a tiny bit above you, it's like, well, I can do that. I can do better than that. Oh, girl, that was a great job. I have girlfriends in my life that I have celebrated their joys just as if they were my own. I have screamed, shouted, just been truly excited for their accomplishments as if they were my own, because I truly love this woman. There is no competition between us because that's my sister. Why am I competing with her? There's enough of whatever it is that women feel like they're competing for. There's plenty in this world. There's not a short supply of any of the things that you feel like you have to fight for. Women, I implore you to confront, to deal with whatever brokenness. It's not easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But to deal with whatever brokenness you have, because only God knows it. What a beautiful, beautiful thing there is in sisterhood. I don't know what I would have done without the sisterhood of some women that I have in my life at certain points in my life. And at a certain point, I didn't even know that I was missing it. And then one day, back in, I think, 2008, I prayed for it. I asked God, bless me with one of those Thelma and Louise type relationships. Bless me with one of these girl trip type of things that I've never gone on a girl's trip. I had the desire to do those things because I began to move out of my way, but I also had to be torn down by God, torn down and built back up because my foundation was jacked. It was broken. It was ugly. It was a mess from things that I had not dealt with. But once we began to break up that foundation and, rebuild a new one, and I began to just be and feel more free and just learn to accept me for who I was in that moment and being vulnerable enough to show that to someone else and to trust they're not going to judge me. They're going to call me on my stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, because I don't want no yes people in my life. I want you to, in love, pull my coattail. Tell me when I'm tripping. Tell me if I've hurt your feelings so that I can apologize and we can go sip some wine and move on. I'm just saying. Women, this mean girl stuff, we've got to do better. We have got to get over it. Just get over it. Get out of your own way. Get over yourself. Hold up that mirror. Get somebody, even if it's somebody that you love and trust, and have them to help you. Get an accountability partner. But you're missing out on sisterhood. Man, it is absolutely awesome. Let me tell you, I love it. I love my sisters. Wouldn't trade them in for anything in this world. So, I don't know. It's absolutely just heartbreaking to see so many women still like this when it's so much easier to be like this. But only you can decide when you are ready to hold up that mirror to deal with whatever issues and little girl brokenness that you've carried on into your womanhood that is stopping you from being the absolute awesome, best, amazing woman that God has designed you to be. Only you can decide when you're ready to do that. I hope this blesses someone. I hope this pushes someone to do just that. So I am sending you light, love, and I hope you receive it.